answers? Is that
We're
the
gonna put it on Weebly as like a little video, but I'll probably also type the answers on and have that on the Weebly too. Yeah.
Oh, now you guys are ready.
All right.
Okay. How long have you been an event planner, and how long do you think you would see yourself doing this as a career?
Well, I've owned my company for 8 years. And before that, I managed events, but just for food and beverage as a caterer. And I started that in 1995.
Wow. What made you realize that you wanted to be an event planner as your career, and was there a certain event that kind of like caused you to be like, oh, this is what I want to do?
When I was working as a caterer, I witnessed a lot of waste, and it was people, just having just a lot going into the garbage can at the end of the event. And so that motivated me to start my own business as a green event producer. I was ready to take on a larger challenge than just food and beverage, so I went to overall event management. Initially, I was thinking in terms of weddings, but after doing a couple weddings, I realized really quickly that was not how I wanted to be spending my time. And my business partner, Vanessa, and I actually used to teach at Casa Grande together, and we started the business together. And now our focus is pretty specific. We produce a couple very large festivals in Sonoma County. So we work with Bike Monkey in Santa Rosa, which is an awesome company, to put on Levi's Grand Fondo, and we manage the festival and the gala. And then we produce Rivertown Revival, and Vanessa and I are the founders of that event. So that led us to realize that we like throwing really big parties for thousands of people. So like Rivertown Revival is around 10,000 person event, and Levi's Grand Fondo's about the same.
Wow.
So those are big. And then we also specialize in political fundraising campaigns. So we're the fundraising team for Congressman Huffman.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we run his, his financial, directors for his fundraising aspect of the campaign side.
Nice. What education did you receive to become an event planner?
Well, my education's in English. I did the event certificate program at Sonoma State, which no longer is there, although it might be coming back, I hear. And that was helpful in some ways. I mean, it was so broad that to me it wasn't what I don't really use anything from it.
Oh.
So my expertise comes from just on the ground.
Oh, okay. Is there continued education courses for event planning, like for hairstyling? Like you could always go to like different courses and stuff?
There are, yeah. There are specialty trainings and conferences that you can attend for professional development.
So do you think that most of your experience comes from like what you've done in the past and just building off of that?
Yeah, I mean, from going back to what I was saying about weddings is I'm a really curious person and I'm a total perfectionist, and so it drives me crazy when things, yeah. And I mean, it's, it comes with this territory is that you have to really care about what you're doing and want to do it really well. Otherwise, I mean, people could get really, really hurt or really, really sick. I mean, the consequences could be very serious, and so I take that really seriously. And so when I was doing weddings, I wasn't able to produce that wedding again the next year because they were still married, right? I couldn't go back and say, oh, okay, all things the same, let's do it again and refine it and let's work out those kinks.
Yeah.
Where with the big festivals and the events that are annual that you do every year you do it, you have 5 things, 10 things, 20 things that you're going to do differently. So, those lines are shorter. So those security guards are there 3 nights before to watch the stuff. So the medical tent is situated in a place that makes sense. So you have, cops that are helping people cross the street and, keeping the traffic regulated.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's where I refine and learn every year. and working with a great team. Like over the years, we have developed just an awesome team of people. So, you know, we have a crew of between 15 and 45 people that we work with
Wow.
and manage. And so just knowing that guy is going to get me the killer map, that person's going to be watching the parking lot, that person's going to be managing the beer lines to make sure that everyone's 21 and no one's inebriated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so having a crew that you can really count on helps. And then you come together after the event and you're like, okay, what are we going to do differently? One, from a creative point of view, because you don't want it to be stagnant, and two, from just a safety and logistics point of view, so it runs more efficiently and smoothly.
Cool. Did you ever take leadership?
I did not take leadership.
Okay, I did. So
Yeah.
I kind of see the resemblance.
Yeah.
Was there a certain class that you felt prepared you the most for event planning?
No, not classes. Like I said, I have my degree in English. I have my teaching credential in English. I'm a trained chef. And me, I learned from working on a great team. And so, you know, and we're really honest with each other. We're kind.
Mm-hmm. But brutally honest.
But yeah, I mean, not brutal, but definitely if one of us witnesses something that we think could be done in a different way, more an efficient way, that would be great. And we work really collaboratively, either in Google Docs. I mean, mostly we're in Google Docs. And so we're seeing each other's work all the time. I'm working on a document right now on page 25 for Levi's Grand Fondo, and it's in the event plan for 2015. So already the event's going to be next October.
Wow.
Here we are in December 2nd, and we're already plowing away at, you know, a huge template of how to steps.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the advantages and disadvantages to your job?
The advantages are that it's super fun to work with creative, healthy, charged, funny people who, you know, who like to work hard. I mean, with the big events, we're sometimes up for 72 hours. Like it's hard, you know, but it's fun because the team's so good and so supportive and just fun and funny and, you know, cracks jokes and whatever. The disadvantages, sort of on the flip side of that, is that sometimes you have to work all the time. For, you know, when we're in crunch time, it's 7 days a week, 16-hour days, no, you know, and so then there's sacrifice, right? And so I'm not picking up my daughter from school, I'm not at the grocery store, I'm not going to the movies with my girlfriends or whatever. I'm making the sacrifice. This is not going to get done by itself, and this is my area of expertise. So, boom, showtime.
What has been your favorite event to plan?
Rivertown Revival is definitely my favorite event to plan.
Mm-hmm.
We have complete creative control because we are our own clients. We do it for free. So it's the one festival we give back to the community, and we raise money for Friends of the Petaluma River. So this year we were able to give them over $20,000 in just a straight donation, which is incredible for such a small organization, and, you know, just really helpful. And Vanessa and Elizabeth, my business partners, and I we can say yes or no to anything, and so it's just a blank canvas. We get out there and we're like, okay, team, what are we gonna do? Whereas with my other clients, I'm listening to what their expectations are, what goals they're trying to achieve, what objectives, you know, and then carving our vision to match their goals and objectives. And so it's really fun and interesting work, but it's not the creativity of like, okay, let's put on the party we want to put on.
Mm-hmm. Cool. How'd you guys create Rivertown Revival?
Vanessa and I sat down and we're just talking about the event we wanted to see in town, and this is what came out of it. We said we want something that's outside in nature, that has really good music, that's got great view, that highlights our local businesses, and that raises money for a local environmental organization. And we want it to be completely green. So we went to Friends of the Petaluma River, at the time run by David Yearsley and Elizabeth Howland, who were married. since then David's died, and Elizabeth's become one of our business partners.
Okay.
And they were really excited about it, so they partnered with us right away, and we just started building the event.
Wow.
So we were so excited when people actually came.
Yeah, that's exciting. Where do you see yourself in 10 years as an event planner?
It's hard to say. We're growing, and our team is growing. So I would like to see us have at least 2 more big festivals. Love working for Congressman Huffman and team, and love the work that he does. Really, really respect him and the work he's doing in Washington. So I would not ever want to give that up. So as long as he's in office, I'm hoping to be part of that team.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it's structured is Elizabeth and I manage all of the Huffman events, and Vanessa and I handle all the Bike Monkey events, and then we all 3 produce Rivertown.
Nice. What is the most challenging part of your job?
I think it's just the personal sacrifice of time. You know, as a small business owner, you know, I do my own books, I do my own marketing, I you know, can sometimes hire people to do jobs, but I know how to do everything, so if it's tight, I do it. And, you know, in a perfect world, we would be more profitable than we are, although we are profitable, and we're thankful for that. And we would be able to have a bigger team so I could spend more time, you know, taking a vacation, spending time with my family, spending time with my friends. I'm blessed that I have such a great family and so many wonderful friends. And then they're just like, but you work all the time.
Yep. So what makes your guys' company different from every other company or event planning company?
There's a couple of things. One, we are a green company, so with Rivertown Revival, we had a 97% diversion rate, which means 97% of anything that could have gone into a dumpster went into a compost bin and was turned into compost. We had like 900 bikes that were parked. So people rode their bikes instead of driving their cars, or they walked to the event. So we work really, really closely with our vendors and with the general public and with our service providers to make sure that everything is in fact green and that we're not just saying it for like PC reasons, you know, that we're walking the talk. The other thing I think that makes us unique, and I think what people like working with us, is we are 100% drama free. If there's anyone on the team that ever causes drama, they're gone.
That's good.
We're very respectful of one another, really kind to one another, and if there's someone who can't play by the, you know, golden rules, then they're not on the team, because we would never ever want a client, a guest, another crew member, a volunteer to be spoken to in a way that didn't reflect our own value system around respectfulness and having a good time. Like, we keep it really light, we joke around all the time, you know, and we really try to make hard work a lot of fun.
Nice. So are you guys local to just Petaluma, or do you guys ever do events like in San Francisco?
We do events. So Congressman Huffman's district goes from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Oregon border.
Mm-hmm.
So we do events in Sausalito, in Petaluma, in Marin, Mendocino, and then up to Eureka, and all the way up to Crescent City. So when we're working, you know, on the campaign side of things, we're doing a lot of driving along the coastline, because his whole territory is along the California coast. So that's big. And then locally, Bike Monkeys in Santa Rosa, Levi's Grand Fondo's Sonoma County event. It's 3 different rides that go all over Sonoma County that end up at this big festival. So we spend a lot of time in Santa Rosa as well, working with the Bike Monkey team. And then for Friends of Petaluma River, for Rivertown Revival, we're here.
Cool, awesome. All right, I think that concludes our interview. Thank you for your time.
Sure.